Hey everybody, it's Zach, Tennis Pro Doc, helping you improve your game with science. And today's head-to-head is a battle of lightweights with Nike Vapor 10 going up against adidas Ubersonic 3. Here we go. And remember, our head-to-heads are always 4 categories, 5 points each: speed, comfort, durability, and playability, total out of 20. Now starting with speed, I think the biggest thing you have to look at with both of these shoes is their treads. Now the Nike Vapor 10 treads are just some of the grittiest, most aggressive treads I've seen in a shoe this year. Whereas the adidas Ubersonic 3s, kind of a flat, not really a good herringbone for hard or clay courts. So when you look at the suicide test and you also look at how you're able to cut on the court, so maybe changing direction side to side or starting, so that first step, you're gonna get a lot more of a grip on the Nike Vapor 10s versus the adidas Ubersonic 3s. And the next thing you have to look at is aerodynamics. The Nike Vapor 10 is a much more streamlined shoe. They've kind of taken away everything that's not needed, and so the shoe does move through the air a little quicker versus the adidas Ubersonic 3s, which are actually kind of flat in the top. They're a little more of a straight last, which I do like straight lasts, but for this particular category, I don't think the straight last really works. And number 3, you have to see how the shoe moves with you. Now what I mean by that is the lace closure system. Now on the Nike Vapor 10s, the entire upper is getting closed when you cinch the laces down with these integrated shoelace eyelets. Whereas on the adidas Ubersonic 3s, they're these outrigger shoelaces. They're only attached into the outer layer of the upper. Now, they do kind of go into the midsole a little bit, but they are stitched right here, so you're not getting a ton of tie down into the midsole. So when you tie the Ubersonic 3 down, you're not getting as much of a closure around your entire foot. You're not enveloping yourself as much. So therefore, your foot's gonna move and then the upper is gonna move. Whereas in the Vapor 10, the whole shoe is gonna move right away, giving you a much quicker first step. So for speed, I'm giving the Vapor 10 a 5 out of 5 and the Ubersonic 3 a 2 out of 5. They are both lightweight shoes. However, Nike just does a lot more with that weight than Adidas does with the Ubersonic 3. All right, so comfort. Now both of these shoes actually have a pretty easy entry. The Ubersonic 3s have more of a slipper tongue, whereas the Vapor 10s have more of a traditional 3-piece tongue. Now the Vapor 10s do have an air zoom unit in the back, which is really nice, comfortable on the heel. Now the Ubersonic 3s have actually a pretty not very responsive midsole. Now it is a little spongy, however on court, it almost kind of feels like a rock underneath of your foot, almost like the Nike Air Tech Challenges. It's just not as forgiving. Now on the Air Zoom, even though it's a more lower profile shoe, you are actually getting quite a bit of padding for that light of a shoe. Now where these two shoes really start to diverge though is in the uppers. The uppers of the Vapor 10 are really plush, they're really comfortable, they expand well, and they breathe incredibly well. Whereas in the Ubersonic 3s, it's made of this woven material, which I actually do like the idea. I just think the engineering needs to meet the playability a little more. I think they need to workshop this just a little better because it kind of feels like cardboard on your foot. So for comfort, I'm giving the Nike Vapor 10 a 4 out of 5 and the adidas Ubersonic 3 a 3 out of 5. The only reason this is not lower than a 3 is just because of the straight last. It accommodates a little more feet. Nike Vapor 10 does have a pretty wide lateral flange, so it will fit a little bit of a wider foot as well, and so that's why it gets up to a 4 out of 5. It would be a 5 out of 5, except for it does wear down sometimes in the midfoot, so over time it's going to become a little less comfortable. All right, so next is durability. Now, neither of these are durability-focused shoes. However, the Ubersonic 3s do have a little bit more woven material in the uppers. The uppers are going to be a little bit more durable than the Nike Vapor 10s. The Nike Vapor 10s have mostly mesh up here. They do have a little bit of a scratch guard, maybe on the medial side a little bit, but you can wear through this upper pretty quickly. Now, also, I actually had an image sent to me by a subscriber of the shank cracking after not all that much use. So I don't know if that was a bad batch on those, but I can tell it is a broad, very thin shank on the Vapor 10s. So I could see those really wearing down over time and giving you a little bit more midfoot strain, maybe a little more arch strain over time. Now, the outsole of the 10, actually pretty durable. The Vapor 10 maybe just a tad more durable than the Ubersonic 3. But again, on the Ubersonic 3s, just going back to that midsole, it's just not gonna hold up as well as some other better engineered foams, even in the Adidas line, such as the Boost foam or even the Sole Match Bounce. So for durability, I'm giving the Nike Vapor 10 a 2 out of 5 and the adidas Ubersonic 3 a 3 out of 5. The difference in these kind of just comes in the uppers. The uppers of the Ubersonic 3s, just a little bit more durable than the very, very mesh-based upper of the Vapor 10. And before we get into playability, make sure you give me your pick between these two shoes in the comments down below. So first I'll start with the pros of the Ubersonic 3. It does have a wide flange and more of a straight last, so you are going to get a little bit more stability in the forefoot. But that's really kind of where that stability ends. You have the slipper tongue, which doesn't have a lot of stability in the upper. The heel counter, this isn't anything, this is just for decoration. The internal heel counter is actually pretty thin and pretty low, so you're not going to get a lot of heel support, which means you're not going to get a lot of ankle support. Now also the treads just don't grip very well. They're a stamped tread, right? So they have this stamp around them. So the treads don't go all the way to the side. So when you're on the side of your foot, you're not going to get as much stability. You're not going to get as much grip. And you can really feel that. Even on a gritty hard court, you can kind of feel that when you're trying to get up and go for the next shot. And again, I keep harping on the uppers. They're just not very comfortable. And so you're going to get a little bit of scratching up there, not as forgiving of a bend when you're trying to bend your big toe joint. And so that discomfort is going to translate to playability on the court. Now I had the exact opposite experience with the Vapor 10. I found that right out of the box, these were some of the best playing shoes I have ever put on. Number one, the lateral flange is so sharp and wide and aggressive that you really never feel out of control, even for a super lightweight shoe. Now next, the treads, that aggro crag tread, I just felt gripped pretty much anything from a slick hard court, carpet, or clay. These things are really gonna dig in. And I think the most impressive thing about the Vapor 10s is how well they split step. Now these shoes definitely didn't get the highest serve test height we've had this year. However, they do retain that light, springy feeling when you're split stepping, plus you get the really aggressive treads, so when you're split stepping and moving, especially on return to serve, you really have just a ton of confidence that you can get up and go really any which way you want. Also, when I was getting really low for a shot, say like a slice backhand or a running forehand, when these treads grip into the court and the shoelace closure has your foot so secure in there, you really can get up and move a lot quicker to the next shot, even better than some more maximalist shoes. So what Nike has done with really kind of stripping down the shoe to its lightest version while retaining all of that stability is really something special. So for playability, I'm giving the adidas Ubersonic 3s a 2 out of 5, and the Nike Vapor 10s, you guessed it, a 5 out of 5. For a grand total of 10 out of 20 for the adidas Ubersonic 3s and 16 out of 20 for the Nike Air Zoom Vapor 10s. What I think it all comes down to is speed and playability. Remember, the Vapor 10s are not going to be the most durable shoes you've ever put on, but while these two shoes are in their prime, the Nike Vapor 10 is just such an elite shoe. Now, the adidas Ubersonic 3, if you were paying attention this year, there's a reason why they brought back the adidas Ubersonic 2. I think people just weren't responding to this shoe as well. And if you look on the Pro Tour, look how many touring pros you see playing with the adidas Ubersonic 3, or the adidas Ubersonic 2. I'm sorry, I get numbers confused. But so you're seeing a lot of people getting into the adidas Ubersonic 2 again, and not so many on the 3. Now there have been video and pictures out there of the Nike Vapor Next or Vapor 11, as well as the adidas Ubersonic 4s. So we're gonna see what they learned with both of these shoes, maybe the durability tweaks in the 10, maybe some comfort and playability tweaks in the 3s. So I'm really looking forward to into 2021 to seeing what they improved on these two shoes, and I'm really excited to compare the 10s and the 11s and the 3s and the 4s. So I hope you join me for that later on in the year. Otherwise, hope you all have a great day, great night, wherever in the world you are tuning in from. I'll see you next time.